Welcome to the gas station, a podcast inspired by the cannabis culture. I'm Roddy P.
And I'm Drew, and welcome back to another episode.
Smoking on that shit y'all can't afford. Gas so loud, smell it through
Another
doors.
episode of the Gas Station Podcast, a podcast inspired by the cannabis culture. Man, Rod's not here today, man, so I'm holding it down dolo, man. So I'm your boy Drew, man, and today I got Abdul with me, man. Local Legends Gaming, and man, shit, we doing what we do, man. Talking cannabis, man. Talking esports, man. Talking all kind of wild shit, man, and smoking good weed, as always, man. So. Yeah, man. Abdul, man, I appreciate you for coming out, bro. Let's get to it.
Oh yeah. No, bro, I appreciate you having me too. Especially giving me the chance to really rap about the synergy between like gaming, whether it's on the casual side, the competitive side, and then cannabis.
For sure.
I mean,
they go hand in hand.
It's been taboo for so long. People would be afraid to talk about it. People would be afraid to know that they actually consume it. But man, just about every gamer I know smokes
weed.
Yeah, you spend 15 minutes playing Call of Duty, and now you gonna hear some bubbler rips, or that chronic cough, that near death cough in the background. That's every game. But it be people that escape. They way to relax from the day, decompress.
Yep.
So no, I appreciate you guys having me on so we can kind of talk about it or whatnot.
Yeah, man. So man, tell me how you got started with gaming and whatnot, bro. I know you're saying, hey, I'll let you explain your own story, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, how'd you get started with the whole thing?
Yeah, so I do a lot. Local Legends by nature is just a gaming company. A lot of people opt to talk about like esports. That's the high-end competitive, but we are a gaming company. So we bring 2 or more individuals together, put them in front of one console, and allow them to play and compete or whatnot. So within that, we host all things like video games, tabletop games, field games or whatnot.
Straight up.
It's just right now, esports is the popping thing.
Mm-hmm.
I got into it because in college I played competitive Call of Duty as well as Super Smash Brothers, and I won thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Just whooping on the people that was on campus with me.
Yeah.
So after college, I went into the IT industry. Before I became an entrepreneur, I worked 12 years in IT before I took my, leap of faith, like everybody says or whatnot.
Right.
But after I had kids, I got 3 kids now. I was just trying to figure out what's an additional revenue stream I can bring in.
Yep.
And I didn't want to do the cliche stuff like Uber driving, like rideshare type stuff or stuff like that, because it was just, I'd be away from the kids too much.
Yep.
So I hosted a lot of tournaments in my undergrad at K-State, and they kind of followed me into my professional life as well. So Friday nights, when I get off work, me and a coworker, we just end up at somebody's house playing whatever game was, and at the time it was Rocket League.
Straight up. And I've heard a lot of shit about that, man. Yeah, that's a different game, bro. Like I haven't played that joint, but I've heard that it's super addicting. It's just like, like soccer on wheels or some shit like that.
Those are the best kind of games. That's how games are designed these days to be hyper addictive, low entry barriers so that anybody can play it, but extremely fun. So repetitive over and over and over again, and repetition builds skill.
Right.
So that's where the esport comes from. It
straight up.
Because I play casual. We get together with some beers or some drinks and just shoot the shit. But the more and more we play, just like us playing Mario Kart as kids, we just got better.
Right.
And of course, I got a competitive nature, so we're gonna wager while we're playing, and it is built on from there. So back to the esports stuff. I had a very young family. I was starting. I was still hoping to tournament. I didn't want to invite people to my house to host tournaments. So I was talking to my wife. She was like, "How about you get a video game truck?" I had never even heard of video game trucks before. So we looked it up online. I had seen them. They're all across the West Coast, the East Coast, or whatnot. And I was like, I can make this. Like, I got some homies out at Flipped Auto Sports in South KC. They build party buses and do car customizations. So I hollered at my boy Julian and Derek over there. They were like, yeah, we can put this together for you for a couple of grand.
It's straight up.
But before we get too far, I had considered signing on to a franchise. It was 94 bands to get a franchise. And I had just got married. I just had 2 kids. Just bought a house a year and a half before. So my money was tied up. There was no way I was getting approved for 94 bands to go out the door. And who even wants a business note on 94,000?
Man.
So
out the gate too.
We were able to build the first video game truck for $32K. Literally a third of the price. And this wasn't completely bootstrap. I took a high interest loan. The typical business owner mistake. Sure. But I mean, you had to get it out the mud. I had to get it from somewhere.
Right.
My banks weren't going to approve me.
Right.
So that's where we got our start. Fortunately, Kansas City took on really well to it.
Sure do.
I was a socialite, but I wasn't no influencer in Kansas City. So when I made my announcement, I wasn't expecting it to go off that way.
Yeah.
And we had financially broken even in 6 months. But of course, it's a loan, so not all that money going out the door before it even hit your pocket.
Yeah.
So it took us about a year and a half to pay off the business loan. But within that, there was a couple of breaks. We opened up the brick and mortar as well, so the Main Street location.
Yep.
5,000 square feet, 2-level event space and gaming center. We did some amazing stuff there. I had classes, created a class called Esports as a Career, where we taught youth how to go from playing in your bedroom to playing on a main stage, and connecting the STEM careers that are in between.
Yeah.
That was great. We taught that same class in 15 schools in the greater Kansas City area. This is of course, the pre-COVID world.
Right. That's just dope, bro.
But unfortunately, where people gather is usually where tragedy strikes.
For sure.
My event space was a victim of a shooting. So I had an outside entity book out the event space to host a youth party, and security failed us on keeping dangerous items out of the space. And 2 guns got in and they shot 4 people in the space. Thank goodness everyone survived and we were able to take care of them. But it was kind of my gift out of a curse, because we were able to close the gaming center right before the pandemic hit. And it's a lot of business out here that was flipped upside down. It's still getting flipped upside down for it.
Yeah, hurting.
But a lot of people think that I closed the gaming center because of the shooting, but it wasn't. I closed the gaming center because at the time I was speaking to my business partners, my now business partners, about the company being acquired. So with any good acquisition, you want to reduce down your assets so that your value can be higher.
Exactly.
So getting rid of a brick and mortar was the number one thing to do, because we had that rent. We were paying $3 bands a month. Plus I had $3,000 in salaries that I was paying out to all my staff members. So 6 racks every month out the door before we even profit. So I'm like, oh yeah, we can close this. Close it yesterday if you want to.
Right.
But I knew that the business built a lot of hope for folks. So we still let folks know, like, although we're closing the brick and mortar, our education and curriculum will still prevail on. The philanthropy that we still do in the city, with like the Ep.4 basketball game that we host annually, will all still go on. It's just the business is moving in a different direction. So that November, I officially signed the company over. I took equity stake in the company that acquired my company, and we were bought out for 5 times the value of it.
Talk your shit, my nigga.
So,
talk your shit, bro.
I mean, that's a blessing. Like after the tragedy or whatnot. I mean, at this time I got 3 small kids, so I'm like, this is right on time. So the acquisition happened in November. We were acquired by a larger esports company out of Wichita, Kansas. And I took a business role with them as their chief business development officer. So I develop all their scalable products. So our largest scalable product is our online leagues, because when the pandemic struck, everyone stopped being outside and we were all inside. Everybody was playing games. So our newest product was our largest, most robust product.
That shit was right on time too.
Yeah, but by nature, Our company does large-scale esports events. We do about 102 of them a year across the nation. So when you Google the word esports and you see stadium events, that's what we put on.
Right.
So we'll meet up with your local CBVs.
Explain that. What's CBVs?
City Visitor Bureaus. So every city has one. Ours is Visit KC, of course.
Right.
Their whole focus is bringing tourism to Kansas City.
Right.
So we have these things called Esports Festival, so 300, 600, 1,000 person events and plus, where we build in anime culture, casual and competitive video gaming, and then vendor booths.
Right.
That stimulates economy in local cities because, one, we have folks that come right through the door.
Yep.
And then we give vendors an opportunity to sell their product in the space. Cosplayers usually sell pictures of themselves to their fans, and then the true gamers, they play for thousands of dollars.
Right.
And then in any sense, content is king. In any space where you gather people in a space, you can sell marketing dollars on top of it. So we sell we sell marketing space within it. So on the main stage, on the tickets, on the live streams as well. Our events are about $40,000 just before the door opens. And we do about 102 of them across the nation, pre-COVID world, of course. But our next one in this new world, the strange world we live in, is coming up just July. So it'll be July, the weekend of July 10th.
Yep.
We have taken over Children's Mercy Park. And we'll do a live esports event where you play traditional sports. You'll now be playing FIFA and Rocket League in there. And it's crazy. This is where we at in a day where you can buy out a stadium and fill it full of video games.
That shit's gonna be crazy.
See, I mean, it's been a good run. I mean, starting a grassroots company, we got it out the back of a trailer. We started with an empty trailer, and now we're on convention grade, and we're hosting tournaments for Riot Games, which is, they create a game called League of Legends, which is the #1 esport in the entire world.
Straight up.
All out of Kansas City, in the middle of the Midwest.
And that's dope, bro. That's dope. So the event coming up in July. So let's talk more about that. Like, how do people get involved with that? If they want to get involved, is it open to the public type deal? Like, what's the situation with that?
Yeah, so that's our core market, is the general public. Average gamer is age 16, it goes up to age 38 now. So all of our events, unless they're on a college campus, are open to the public. So we sell a general admission ticket for $30, and you can compete in any tournament. And then we have VIP tickets as well that'll range in prices. We generally partner with the city's local esports team, and they'll be able to sell their product on top of our VIP passes. So it'll be like $60 again, and you'll get some swag bags. You'll get signings, autograph sessions with the players, and then the esports team will do some exhibition matches on the main stage. So just a more exclusive experience, which usually does well because either the parents or guardians want their youth to experience it, or it's just the fanboys who want to be around their team. It's kind of like Kansas City Chiefs. I pay a premium to be able to chill with Travis and Patrick. Because we're not going to have that experience.
Yeah.
So
playing games and yeah. That's dope. That's dope, man. Damn, that's crazy. So as far as like for like younger kids, like now, and I know you were talking about curriculums and stuff like that, like it seems like this is now like an important time for like young kids to like be playing games almost, to like be involved in like that whole world and stuff, because it's different than like when we was coming up. Like there wasn't esports. It was just get up off that game, like you've been in here too long, right? And so now it's like, hey, stay on that game for a little bit longer, because now there could be a career in that, or there could be an opportunity to be a professional at that. So it's like, that's is that where we're heading with this, you think?
That's where we've been. It's just, we black. Like the world we live in, we're years behind. For good reason. We spent 400 years behind.
Right.
But The only thing that's changed it's all sports at the end of the day.
Yep.
The only thing that's changed is that there's an E in front of it.
Yeah.
So when we were younger, when we turned 4 or 5, our parents put us in Pop Warner football, basketball, cheerleading, and stuff like that.
Yep.
And we do it because our parents know what the Super Bowl is, what the finals are. The reason that parents are hesitant now to put their kids in esports is because they don't know what the end goal is. These white people and Asian people know because they created and control the industry. But with any strive to be on top, you have to keep folks down. So information is available. We just don't seek it because we're not used to it.
Right.
So that's why in our educational curriculum, the very first class is a parent or guardian education. So we talk to the parents and guardians about the opportunities for the youth, like the actual pipeline stuff. If you're a hobbyist or you're playing in high school, you should play these games because they have scholarships that'll pay for your post-secondary education.
Yep.
And then after your post-secondary education, what opportunities there are. The 1% become the pro players.
Right.
But
like anything else.
Yeah, just like our college ball players, we hope that they get business management degrees, accounting degrees, so that if they don't become the 1%ers, that they can go have a lucrative career. We do the same thing with our esports players. We say, hey, content is king. Be a content creator. You're going to have a following, monetize your likeliness, and have people watch your stuff. But also, build your own PC. That's computer engineering, computer science, mechanical engineering at its core. And then if you are actually producing content, maybe consider graphic design. These are all careers outside of it.
That come from that whole industry, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, my degree was in computer science. I ain't touched a computer in 3 or 4 years, but going to college to study computer science, I met a lot of other computer scientists and engineers that I work with all the time in different business ventures.
Yeah.
So we still push our youth to still go to post-secondary education, but understand that just because your dream is here doesn't mean you can't land on other goals.
Right.
Because I mean, when I started college, I thought I was gonna design video games, and now I'm selling people the experience to play video games.
That's right.
So there's still opportunity. That's really where it is. But we as a people, black and brown people, we have to stop being afraid of change and stop thinking that stuff is not for us, because it is. We have an exceptional amount of financial power, and the black woman alone is the fastest excelling collegiate achiever in the nation right now. So if we don't get behind stuff like that, then we're going to continue to stay behind. We just think that it's not for us. But it's just because someone has told us for 400 years that it wasn't for us.
It wasn't, right? Damn. It's dope to see the term, man. Like I wish that it was like that when we was coming. Like, bro, I might have had I known that was what gaming was. Like, and that's how you know, like the education now is different, because it's like we weren't being told like, oh, gaming is a whole like thing. Like this is computer science, this is computer programming, this is like shit. I ain't know. I might have went that route just so I could play more video games. And so it's just like, man, like that's like. It's dope to see like there's a correlation now, and like people are having like an avenue to like express like themselves, and like it's no shame in being a gamer and stuff no more.
Yeah, I got a colleague in the industry. He created a brand called Nerd. His website is nerd.gg. The entire focus is to get away the poor stigma behind the word nerd, and help youth build pride in being called one. Because for so long, being exceptionally smart or being quirky or not being a socialite was perceived as something lesser than. But now these are some of the brightest minds that we have. These are the people that we work for, because they were exceptionally smart. They were quirky, and they were to themselves, so they were developing something great that they now pay us to develop for them.
To now use and shit.
It's a great brand. I mean, they utilize influencers to try to show the youth who align with that it's a cool place to be.
For sure, man. So like, I know that there's like people, like I'm a council guy, right? Like, so you know what I'm saying. So I'm a PlayStation kid, and And I've just kind of always played that. Like I've never got into playing Xbox. I played it, but just never personally owned them joints. But like I've started to hear like a lot more people, and at least like when you're watching like the Twitches and stuff like that, like people are playing on the computers. So like, what's the difference or the experience? I guess is one better than the other? Is it faster? Like, what's the play with the computer consoles and stuff instead of the, you know what I'm saying, just the standard stuff they give you?
So when you get online, you ask that question, you're going to get over and over again, you're going to get answers from everyone saying stuff is the best. You'll get stuff like PC Master Race, because a PC is generally a higher performing asset than like the consoles. But when you open them all up, they're all computers at the same time.
Right.
They just have different goals, different markets. When it comes to like high level competitive play, it's generally set up on PCs for like MOBAs. But for the first-person shooters, the competitive players are still playing with controllers. You just see a computer screen because the refresh rate is faster. But their hands are generally down in their lap playing on a controller because classic Call of Duty has always been played on that. But it really depends on what your affinity is. So if you're in a sports game, you're never going to see a sports game played on a PC. It's always going to be on Xbox or a PlayStation.
Right.
If you're playing a fighting game, it's going to be on PlayStation. If you're playing a game like Super Smash Bros., it's going to be on Nintendo Switch. So it's really just... there is a best console for the title that you want to play.
Right.
There is no such thing as this is a best among the rest.
Okay.
Because it's just like cars. A car drops today, a year from now, it's going to be an old thing. And it's the same thing with the console. I picked up the PS5 when it dropped, and I barely play it now. It's only been out for like 6 months at this.
See, and that's why I waited for that joint. It was just like man, it ain't no... it don't feel like there's no new games, right? Yeah. Like all the, you know what I'm saying, all the titles that they got, you can still get them on the PS4 and stuff like that. And so it's like, I don't know, I've been waiting, like I want one just for the experience, just to say I didn't played it, but it's just like, it don't seem like it's worth it yet. I want that GTA 6, man.
Yeah, I ain't never been in a GTA, but it's a dope game.
Straight up, you never got into it like that?
I've never been big on real world career building, open world type games like that. Yeah. If I do open world, it has to be like a fantasy game, like
straight up.
Like I want like a knight or something that I can build up, not like another nigga on the block.
Right.
I'm already on the block, so I don't want to play that.
And so like that's why I always got into it. Like I don't like Call of Duty, right? But I like Grand Theft Auto just because it always seems like so lifelike. And I always thought they should have, like, at some point they should have combined all the games. Like imagine your game starts and you like a kid on Grand Theft Auto, right? Yeah. And then you can grow up and you can do like different things. And you know how they've already built the high school football into the NCAA games when they had those. It's like, man, like then merge me into college and I can play. And then but you can come back and do like the stuff you can do on Grand Theft. You can rob stuff, and but if you get caught, like it's like a real life game, almost like the Sims. Yeah, it's like, man, give me all of that and let me get other games and like connect them. Y'all already putting this stuff out here for the internet. Why can't I connect these joints on my stuff and like do my own story? Yeah. And if I want to fuck off and like be the MVP in the NFL and be, you know what I'm saying, the biggest kingpin in the neighborhood, like I can do that. And if I find a way to balance it, like I get the gold stars or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, but for me, it was always dope just to, you know what I'm saying, like to do normal shit. Like, it's almost like some shit you would never do. But you could do it on this game and just like, you know what I'm saying, just do wild stuff. The stories were always like, you know what I'm saying, cool, more cinematic movie-like, right? Seemed like you was watching, you know, Scarface or something like that. And so it's just like all the things for me just resonated. But, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
it's just a big-ass game.
Right?
Because there's too many to even look around the room and see where people come from, what they do for a living. Yep. That's a lot of different lifestyles to pack into
one game.
A single game. I mean, it would be awesome. You can never pack all the different video games together because people want their IP. They want to be the top dog in the industry. Yeah. And we're a culture that just don't work together. That's why we have war. This is why we have countries, states, and neighborhoods. Because even though we're all human beings, we need a sense of exclusivity and something that defines us among the rest.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. So like, you know, saying at these gaming joints, like are there cannabis brands and stuff there? Are there vendors and stuff that are at these gaming events and stuff that are cannabis brands and stuff? That seem like a little lane. I need to be trying to hop in.
I've seen CBD at the most.
Straight up.
So like, it really depends on where you're at, because we do them all across the nation. I mean, if you're on a college campus, it's not gonna fly. Mm-hmm. And then if you're doing something like Overland Park Convention Center or something like that, you really got to see if like the visitor bureau is cool with that, or if the convention's cool with it.
Right.
I don't see a reason for it not to work, but no one has just kind of stepped up.
Straight up.
I mean, look at our dispensaries. As much as they try to flex on social media, that
they ain't out here doing
they're
nothing.
all struggling. This is why you're paying so much for an eighth.
Yep.
Because they all got $1 million loans, and they built out their business inside of a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And then
thinking it was gonna be booming.
Yeah. But street sales is still booming, because it's still quality leaf on the streets.
Yeah.
For a fraction of the price.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie and say the bud's not looking better, right? I've been to the dispensaries. I be popping in just to check on stuff, you know what I'm saying, just to see what the thing is going, cause if it's gonna get good, then don't, by all means, I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna pay the little $60 for the eighth. I don't give a shit if it's gonna be some gas. But it's like, it's getting better. The first stuff was, I see some pictures that was terrible. The first batch was, whew. And so it's like, but I just went in there the other day and I had some Black Lime Reserve or something like that, and it looked cool. It smoked cool. It wasn't no gas, but it was cool. If I'd have smoked that whole eighth, I probably would have got it. But I just tested because I didn't think it was gonna be good. So I only got $1,000. Just like, nah, just give me $1,000, bro, because I don't want to buy a whole bunch of this booty ass weed, and then I'm stuck with it. So just give me $1 of that, bro, $1 of this, bro. Let me see what it's shaking for. The rest of this shit, I'm cool on it. But they got 20 different strains of some random name, goofy nonsense. But it's at least getting better. It's just. Like,
it's been a miss for me. I've been getting, maybe I'm just going to the wrong dispensary, but I've been getting.
Which ones you been to?
Right over by me. Mm-hmm. So I usually just opt for that because it's the closest I can slide through. They drive through and keep it moving.
Yeah.
But like I'll get some quality smoke, but the appearance is ass.
So I heard got the gummies though that's going crazy. Yeah. They got some. Have you had the edibles?
Yeah, I rock with I do a full spectrum tropical punch.
Straight up.
All the time from there.
It's busting.
I get the same high. It was like the McDonald's of
straight
cannabis.
Up.
Like, you know exactly what you're going in for. You're gonna get that same thing out.
I'm gonna have to go. So I got a homegirl that told me about it. She was like, I get the green apple cowboys. I said, what's the cowboy? She was like, I don't know. She said, it's these little barrels. She said, hey, they get the green apple. She said, hey, I'm telling you now. She said, it's one for me. She said, you might need a couple. It's one for me, and I'm right where I need to be at. I said, for real? She's like, yeah. She's like, but they the green lights, like they making their own thing. I said, for real? So I'm gonna have to go check them out, you know what I'm saying, and see what's going on. You didn't at least verify their story.
Nigga, the next time I light a fire, it's gonna be an edible.
Edible s'more.
I may only do it one because s'mores be not s'mores, but edible be putting me on my ass.
Yeah.
So I may just do one. Have to be like, listen,
have to do a half and half on that.
Bring one chocolate piece out and put the rest. Cause I don't got no self control neither. I'll snack a bag of candy.
Right, for real, got that sweet tooth.
So
yeah, man, that shit's funny, bro. I don't know. Like, you would think that at some point, man, like they would just fix the disparity. Like, and this isn't even the black and white thing. This is just, it's not enough facilities.
Yeah.
Y'all told me it was only gonna be 20,000 patients at this time. That was y'all bad math. But bad math nonetheless. We passed 20,000 like a month or two in. So at some point you gotta say like, hey, look, we fucked up. What we gonna do is we're gonna open the application back up and we're gonna just do our thing. Like, for the people that applied before, it was non-refundable. Like, y'all kind of knew that. That's heartbreaking. It's fucked up. But you can apply again. You know what I'm saying? And I think we're gonna do a little bit more this time. And so it's like, and then let's get the ball rolling, bro, so then we can keep the process going. The people that y'all gave them licenses to, they ain't opening up. So snatch that shit back up, bro. Put it back in the pool. Maybe add 200, 300, 400 more. Hey, let's keep on moving, bro. It's like, why are we sitting around waiting like something's gonna fix? You thought they was gonna serve everybody in the state.
Yeah.
It's no way possible.
I mean,
There's no way possible.
And I'm not at the table when these conversations were being had, like, and so I have no clue, like, how the decision makers come to the decision on, like, how many licenses they're putting out, like, oversaturation for a city or whatnot, or how many licenses we now currently have. So I just kind of I gotta speak from like a novice perspective on it and like how I speculate.
Yeah.
But like what I would like to see is they have different set of rules. So you still keep the same application process where somebody has to involve a lawyer so they get it right, so that you don't just have people putting bullshit out there. Because that'll at least get rid of some of the riffraff people trying to start up bullshit businesses. But outside of that, maybe then do some population studies. So say you're going to have one dispensary per 100,000 people. And that's neighborhood-wise.
Right.
So it's not like McDonald's where it's a McDonald's every 3 miles.
Right.
And then from there, have the license sit on a business like how bars do. So if one of these deep pocket people come through and they renovate, they renovated Taco Bell. I'm sure they probably put probably like $250,000 into that because you got to renovate the building to make sure they don't have that one entry and all that stuff too.
Security and shit,
But if they don't last, then the license should stick with the building at least.
Somebody else can hop in.
So someone else can come in and sustain the business. At least you already know that this one serves this population or whatever. And this is on the medical side, so it can still serve these patients that are in here, but there's a new set of funding behind it to move it forward. And they still have the top-down model on it so that, you got to run the business, the retail, the cultivation or whatnot.
Right.
Put that pressure on there so that for the people who actually need the medicine, they don't lose the opportunity. And then for the business-minded individuals who want to get into the entrepreneurial space, they have an opportunity to move back into it as well.
Right.
Just like how the bar districts do. It's easy to get a liquor license on a place that was a bar before.
For sure.
Because it may actually still
might be active.
Already be there. But again, I ain't at the table. So it's just me on the outside talking about shit.
I ain't at the table neither. But no, for real, it's just, unfortunately, I think at this point the best option, it sounds like, is homegrown. It sounds like being your own cultivator or having a caregiver of some sort, right? That then, you can actually go to and get better products, because the stuff that I see from the home grow community and stuff is in my opinion a lot better. And then there's a lot more I guess like willingness to want to help the patients and stuff, right? Like it seems like the home grow community is more close knit, right? It's operating the way we expected for this whole dispensary patient, all that stuff. We expected it to work like this, like for it to be like open but discreet, like quality products, like what I need, like catered to a specific person. And so it's like, unfortunately right now, it sounds like the only way to do that is to like almost be your own caretaker. And to like grow your own meds, and to like, take all of that stuff into your own care and stuff like that, because it's now what's going into your products and stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I got more conscious of like what I was consuming, whether like on the food side, that's when I decided that I wanted to consume my medicine at a better grade too, because anything mass produced is gonna have some nutrients or chemicals put into it to uphold that standard of quality and get it out faster. But I was like, that's not what I want to consume myself. Like I want a higher grade. So once I found out that I could actually legally cultivate my own medicine, it was a no-brainer. And then when I found out the cost behind getting your license and the procedures were like a couple clicks away,
right?
That's how I got into it. And then fortunately, it was the midst of a pandemic. I had a dumb amount of time on my hand, so I was sitting at home either playing video games, right, or consuming my medicine. It was like, if I can do this at home, I might as well just do it. And then anybody who regularly consumes it is being childish if they're not getting their license. You should, if you regularly consume cannabis, you should have your license just like you have life insurance, car insurance, medical insurance. Being ahead of whatever issue could come your way is always a better way to be. I'd rather be proactive than have to be reactive in a situation.
Yo.
But yeah, like you were saying, like
Simple,
the cultivation community is really supportive. I mean, I linked up with like Quality Grow over off
the homies. Yeah, good folks.
Jeremy and Emily over there. I mean, they're constantly kicking game. If you just don't understand something, you can just text their business phone and they'll send you back to the best of their knowledge and whatnot. I understand it's a learning curve for all of us. But it's also very euphoric too to be able to sit in the garden all seasons of the year. Is a great way for me to decompress from like all the things I deal with every day.
Yeah. Spending all that time down there pruning and watching the process, man. It's dope to see it. But I still haven't got my hands dirty yet. I ain't started growing. I be in the kitchen, but I still haven't started the whole grow thing, man. But it's dope to see the quality, the products that come out of that shit, man. And I know we were talking earlier, and you were saying something about like like just the system and stuff that, you know what I'm saying, that like you decided to use and stuff like that, and you know what I'm saying, and some of the things, you know what I'm saying, that you're gonna be doing like with your cult and whatnot.
Yeah, so a lot of people think like gaming is like my passion product. No. Gaming is what I use to decompress from work, and I really enjoyed that. I just monetized the way I was spending an abundant amount of my time or whatnot. So my passion is in teaching people, like pouring back into people who poured into me. So even with like the esports stuff, this is why we built the esports as a career curriculum, so that for folks who don't have the opportunity, they can get the knowledge from us for a very low price. Right. If any price at all. We work a lot of schools, so it's free. But on the cultivation side too, for folks who need the medicine, for whatever reason that it may be, to get the education back out to them, because I had to scour the internet and run around and spend a lot of money just to figure out how to do it the right way, because I'm a big advocate of doing it the right way the first time. So like one of the systems I use is a system called Autopots. It's a gravity-fed watering system, so you can set up an array of pots for your flowers, and they're all connected by little sump pumps. So the pot sits in water. When the soil dries out, the pump drops, if it refills the chamber, and the root base reabsorbs the nutrients. It works really well for people who are on the go. So if you don't have time to be in a garden watering all the time, you can get away with a week or so of watering. So and when I do get out of town, I don't got to worry about that anymore. But content is king. It's always going to be king. So I just hit up the developers and we're like, hey, would you be interested in a content partnership? And I kind of sent them my resume of stuff I've done in the past. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. So they're going to send me a couple grand worth of equipment to build a 3-video series on how to cultivate. So we'll do a video on like germination, the basics, like tent design, autopot setup and germination, and then one on the different growth cycles. So the vegetative cycle in IPM, and then the flowering cycle in IPM as well, so that for anybody who just wants to get into it, they can know a rough amount of money that you would invest into it, how to get your licenses, also what's the legal limit for Missouri. I'm making my videos strictly for Missouri. And then once you get started, 2 more videos later, 10-minute video later, you're an expert or whatnot. You're good, because I mean, if you look back at how much money you're spending now on however you consume your medicine, and when you can just make it for a fraction of the price at home, it's a no-brainer, especially in this time where so many people have been displaced from their work. Why not?
So with that system, are you able to monitor that shit like on your phone and stuff like that, or is it
different parts of it? I mean, there's a couple different parts. So like you can monitor like your cameras, if you have cameras, your ventilation system, but the watering part, no, it's gravity. Gravity always running. They have it set up to where the plants eat when they want to eat, so you get faster growing, more robust plants from it. But we just have in the setup that we're creating content for, that use like Wise cameras, which are Wi-Fi enabled cameras, and then you can pull it up on an app on your mobile phone and look into your garden at any time. So if you're out of town, or if you have a caregiver taking care of your stuff, you can say, hey, what's going on with this or whatnot.
Right. Straight up. So that sounds like the little system I need, man, because I'm a man on the go. You need to give me one of these systems. I'm going to have to tune in to your videos. When are they supposed to come out? You got a timeline on that joint?
No, it'll be before the end of the summer. We just inked the deal this past week.
Straight.
So this is actually the first time I've really told people about it. But it'll be soon. I mean, I've got enough equipment and enough cultivators that work with us in our group that there's a place where we can shoot the content to get it out. As long as whoever the videographer is can record it in a short amount of time and edit it, we'll get it out soon. It's just coming together to do it.
Straight up. Well, if you need a video guy, I know somebody.
Yeah, I think we might know somebody. It does good work.
Might know somebody, huh? Yeah, man. Shit. Yeah, that's good stuff, bro.
I mean, I got plenty of questions about myself. What's next for y'all? I mean, I follow Roddy in the Gas Boy brand, but what's next for like the Funkyskunk?
Yeah, so man, the next thing for us is like working more on like the lounge aspects of our business, and so opening up the T-Pad, and then continuing to push the brands and stuff like that through merch, products and stuff like that. So we're gonna continue to push out more of the strain merch. We got some stuff coming with some collaborations and stuff. Here in I'll probably say before the summer's up, man, we're gonna do a lotion drop, and so we're gonna do a little collaboration with some infused CBD shea butters and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So at this point, man, like the goal for us is about like collaborating and like doing more things where we're integrating like cannabis into like the everyday like lives of everybody, because that's how people consume it. Like it's normal for the folks that enjoy cannabis, like they do everyday normal stuff, and so it's like doing food that's infused, like doing puffing paints, like doing tastings, if you will, and like having people come out and like there's strain drops and you're getting the opportunity to like give feedback and let people know what you think about their stuff. And so like for us, I think that's what I feel like the community needs here in Kansas City. And I think we've always kind of like pioneered and like tried to press the envelope with the stuff that we've done. And so it's like this is kind of the next play for us, bro. It's like I think now we like strategically find partners that are doing things that like we want to cross integrate with, and then try to find a way to like collaborate and like bring that to the city, because I believe like Funkyskunk now gives people like the ability to like do weed stuff. Yeah. And so it's like this is the like collaborate with me, and then I'll bring this and you do like what you do like well. That's why we're talking, is like, so like you do what you do well, I do what I do well. We bring everybody together and we have like an over the top experience that's like one of a kind. And then it's like people are gonna immediately ask for more. And you got then the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. Is like consistently giving people like the opportunity to like consume and like do stuff that alcohol people like that you do with alcohol, right? Like if you can go out and you can go to a bar, you can have a day party and stuff. Why can't I have a day party with weed?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of experiences that I've been able to experience in different cities, like even like down to just BYOB spaces.
Yep.
It's stuff that I wish that we had back home, because I can consume at my own speed, but also at my own limited taste without having the fear of like a bar running out or waiting for service, or just not having the stuff that I want. But having a space right in your backyard for people who take the initiative to actually get their medical marijuana card, I think it's great, because that's what we all end up doing. We always hit up the homies and be like, "Hey, you want to smoke?"
Right.
We end up at somebody's house in the same place, but we've been in the house all day. We've been in the house for a year.
Yeah. People want to be outside.
It'd be nicer to actually be in a lounge, a place that's conducive to that experience, just like how hookah lounges are.
Yep.
It's a model that is right in front of our face. It's like bars. We all got alcohol and music at home, but we go to a bar because we want to share that experience with others.
Yeah.
It's just like hookah lounges. We got it at home, but we come to these hookah lounges because we want to share it with others. It's every experience.
Yep.
We weren't designed by ourselves.
Yeah.
Whatever religious background you come from or superior being that you follow, we're always set up in pairs or with multiples. So that's why all these models work, because we want to share that experience with our people.
Yeah. Yep. It's all about gathering. I feel like cannabis is it's a community type deal.
And don't nothing bring you together like weed.
Yeah.
I've smoked with some complete strangers.
You see what I'm saying?
In the
Feel
sketchiest
completely
situation.
and be comfortable as hell.
But while it's lit, we family at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, people ain't gonna play like in the middle of this COVID craziness. They wasn't still puffing and passing it.
I ain't stopped.
Because I've
smoking with people
I've
I
seen
knew,
it all.
though.
I mean, we was afraid of every cough that came out of people's mouths, but we still passed the joint or blunt around. As
You ain't got COVID, huh?
right. So nothing brings people together like that. We could stop in wars with cannabis. We just all be hungry, chilling, and sleepy in the corner.
And then we need more 24-hour spots in Kansas City.
Yeah, that economic stimulus right there.
Right.
Business is going up. So.
Man, for everybody, man. So yeah, bro. Yeah, I think that's yeah, this has been good, man. I appreciate you for coming out, bro.
Nah, I appreciate you guys having me. I mean, I've been trying to find time to get into the space.
Man.
Yeah, too busy, but I just need to make time. That's really what it is. I'm glad you guys kind of held me accountable for my promises of showing up. But I'm excited to see. I didn't know this place was this big, even outside of this space, to see what you guys build into and how we can kind of pour into it, from the shared experiences to even just people having a place to casually play.
Yep.
I think this is something that Raytown needs. Raytown is a strange part of the world.
Don't talk about my hometown, man.
Trap between two other major cities.
Hey, for real.
I don't know how they let this happen, but it is needed.
Yeah.
And all the things that we grew up loving, like Granby Skateland, are gone. So, like,
it should be the staple.
This is what's needed.
Yeah, it's like, man, people should be able to, like, when you in the city and you want to, like, come and consume or just come and just lounge and chill and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can come to the Skunk and have a good time just to get away. It's just like a little hidden treasure.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Like a speakeasy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the goal and the vision, and we'll just continue to keep massaging it and just keep adding and delivering, like, new stuff, man. But, hey, man, I appreciate you, man. This is another episode of the Gas Station Podcast, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We out.